In this video, I'm going to recreate Ku'gath Plaguefather's first assault on Karaz-a-Karak in a multiplayer battle against a close friend of mine, using a mod to change the dwarf capital into a much better map, and to make this as lore accurate as possible, I'll also be using the dwarf's own strategy from the time. But before we get to that, how and why did this event happen? Well, because of a powerful race of beings known as the Old Ones. Now this is a lizardmen slan, but considering the Old Ones created the slan in their image, this is probably the closest thing we have to a representation of them in the game. They arrived on the planet Malice and settled in Lustria, using silver ships to cross the stars that could have potentially looked something like this. They did a great many things, such as creating the lizardmen, shifting the world's orbit and ending an ice age. They split up the continents, creating the Great Ocean, and also creating elves, dwarfs and humans, just to name a few. They also created the warp gate at the poles of the planet to allow travel between worlds. Unfortunately, the warp gate collapsed, creating permanent rifts open to the realm of chaos and allowing demons to pour in. These demons attacked all of the races the Old Ones had created, including the dwarfs, and one of the demons who led these attacks was Ku'gath Plaguefather. Ku'gath set about destroying many dwarf holds, eventually finding his way to the capital of Karaz-a-Karak, where the dwarfs would hatch a plan to destroy the Great Unclean One and send the demon back to the realm of chaos. And this is where we begin our battle. I'd given my friend one task, to attack Karaz-a-Karak with a large army of Nurgle demons led by Ku'gath Plaguefather, but I hadn't told him anything else. And when he arrived at the first gate, he found it undefended. This is because in the lore, the dwarfs drew in the demons, allowing them through, in a plan to collapse part of the mountain on them. It's pretty difficult to collapse a mountain in Warhammer 3, but the best way I could think of to simulate what it might have looked like was to surprise him with 22 grudge throwers the moment he came through the gate. I thought to myself, they catapult rocks, and rocks were exactly what fell on the demons' heads, so it works. Ku'gath's forces easily entered through the outer defences of Karaz-a-Karak. The dwarfs must be already beaten from their previous losses, he thought. Ku'gath hadn't waited for his forces to replenish from previous battles before beginning the assault. Besides, the host of demons he led was still beyond counting. With no defenders, the outer defences were easily breached, and demons soon broke through into the hold proper. But as they found their way inside, the dwarfs sprung their trap. And I swear, I had no idea this was going to happen, but it couldn't have been more perfect. As the second volley from the grudge throwers landed, parts of the gate, rocks from the mountain and stone from statues rained down upon the demons. Now, in the lore, this is where the battle ended, as the demons were crushed beneath the mountain and the dwarfs emerged victorious. But this is Warhammer 3, and we kept fighting. And just to show you how much damage those volleys did, the demons kept on coming, and the grudge throwers kept on firing. I didn't have that much in the way of infantry, so if the Nurgle demons could reach me even slightly intact, we might be in for a bit of trouble. The rotflies had flown in through the cannon towers and flanked our catapults, as dwarf warriors and hammerers went to intercept them. The demons had reached us, but had taken heavy damage, and with our runesmith and lord buffing our pocket of infantry, victory looked certain. Ku'gath and the Plague Bearers tried to take down the Dwarf Lord, but the amount of grudge throwers smashing Ku'gath in the face was too much for even a Great Unclean One to handle. With Ku'gath banished, it wasn't long before the rest of the demons followed, and victory went to the dwarfs. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this shorter and slightly different style of video, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you liked or didn't like in the comments below. I think it's nice to break up the longer lore campaigns every now and then, and cover some of the smaller parts of the lore too. I'm also thinking about doing some videos on some more interesting side characters that aren't involved in the main events. But anyway, if you want to see more, then don't forget to subscribe. There's plenty more on the way, so until then, I'll see you in the next one.